What season of life are you in right now? Like, where are you at in yourself and in your own journey? Because I know when I look outside myself into the world around me, with what's happening globally around the wars, the displacement, the war on Indigenous people, what is happening in Palestine and Gaza and all that sort of stuff, what's happening in America, the cost of living, the rates of loneliness and depression, just everything feels so overwhelming. The race wars right now, what is happening in Aotearoa, New Zealand, in terms of the government's attack on the Māori language as a national language, what's happening in Australia, what happened on the 1st of August at Camp Sovereignty. It all feels so overwhelming and so very, very real right now. And then there's the truth of what's happening inside of me in my own life, in my own home, of the season that I'm building from, and just my own reality. It can just all feel too much. If this is you, then this message is for you. This is why now is the time to come home to ourselves. Now is the time, even if you're in crisis and chaos and you're in the hardest position you find yourself in your life, or you're just numbing and shutting down and you're just on autopilot and in survival, then now is the time for this. It's not that time of going, I don't have time for this, there's no capacity. This I strongly know to be true and believe is the perfect timing. There is now more than ever is the time to come home to ourselves, to sit with ourselves and ask ourselves, what is our truth? What is speaking to me? What is calling me? And not just from a place of what do I need to do to survive, but having the courage to go, what are our desires? What is calling us? What is our joy? What is our most powerful and aligned self? And how do I move from the reality that I've created, the story, the self that I've become out of survival, autopilot, like whatever your story is, to where you're living in your power, your potential, and your truth? Because when we come home to our heart forms before our brain. Our heart beats before anything else. Our little heart starts beating and is formed at 6 weeks in our mother's womb. And yet most of us are led by our head. Our head is full of noise and trauma and stories and everything else. But when we come home to our heart and we are brave enough to sit with ourselves at this self and this space, because the heart bypasses ego and it bypasses trauma. It only speaks our truth. And then when we know our truth, we need our warrior spirit to be able to move through the world from that truth. Because if you are anything like me, if you're a woman, an Indigenous person, a Black Indigenous person of colour, whatever your thing is, at some point in your life, you may have had an experience where you were told, you were shown, or you interpreted, you internalized an experience, a message that who you are in your truth is not safe, not allowed, not enough, not welcome, not worthy. I'll let that resonate. So if you've ever heard the saying, just be yourself in the world, like don't worry about what other people think, and yet you know that that's just not possible, it's not your reality. And yet you are done living with the way you have been living. You're done with not being yourself in the world. You're either done with it or you know you cannot. You can no longer live with self-abandonment and burnout and being everything other than who you are in your truth, in your humanity. Then this warrior heart moment is for you. This is an invitation. It's a calling. It's an opportunity. It's a message. It's a seed. It's all of those things. If you are new to me, my name is Chantel Thompson and I'm a proud Barkindji Yimpa woman. I'm a mum. I'm Anishan and I am the founder I'm the creator. I am the first version of the Warrior Heart and the Kililana movement from grassroots and global. The warrior heart is about standing in your power, being your truth, and following your heart. And what does it mean to move from your purpose, your power, and your potential, grounded in your peace, and being bravely and boldly yourself without apology? Nothing less and nothing more than your whole self. In your darkness, in your light, in your wounds, and in your power and your potential. And becoming your own purpose and allowing that to be the place that you lead, love, and serve to the world and to your community. I have created a 7-day challenge which starts this Sunday. It is free to join our Warrior Heart Activation community over on School. All the details and links will be below. But this is for those who are already on the journey or who are being called to do something different, but not by doing more, but by coming home to our truth and aligning and moving from a place of alignment, creating safety and stability within ourselves before we start to create change externally, is having the courage to go, who am I now? Where am I? And then what does alignment look like? What does peace look like? What does your fullest self-expression look like? And does that align with where you're moving and who you're being right now? So it'll be a 7-day challenge where we'll have 3 meetups, one on Sunday, a check-in and an activation on Monday. Wednesday, we'll do a midweek check-in, and then we'll finalize on Saturday on the last day to go, how did you go? And then what comes next? It comes with daily actions, reflections, and check-ins, and you get to be a part of an amazing community of people who have said yes to going, the Warrior Heart is a movement. It's a space, it's a community, it's a way I want to move through the world. Because I'm done with my own shit and I'm done with being the broken version of myself. Like whatever is your ish, you know you're done with it and you know you're ready for more, but you don't want to walk this journey alone. And I had to really sit with this because a lot of people, it's about, they think that they feel, or they are conditioned to believe it's a new me, new season type thing of when I'm ready to change, and it's these big grand gestures of change that might activate you. But what I know from my own experience, I am coming from 3 years of the hardest years of my life, of when I got to the deepest, darkest parts of myself where I tried to take myself out because I didn't believe I was worthy enough, allowed, or safe to be myself in the world. But not living in my truth was literally killing me, to the point where the pain and the noise and the story got so loud that I did not believe I was worthy of being here. And I acted on that. And the ancestors said, no, your time is not done. And I finally lifted my head and I looked around at who I was being and what I had created. And it wasn't in alignment. It wasn't resonating. And I gathered my courage. I gathered myself and I started to move from that wealthy, higher version of myself, my warrior-hearted self. And then the reality started to set in. It cost me relationships. It cost me dreams. It cost me opportunities and spaces. I had to start again. I ended my 20-year relationship. I had lifetime relationships not necessarily say to me, but show me through their actions. And who showed up for me in my deepest, darkest moments, who was active in their love and support of me in that season, but also in the truth of who I was becoming, and who could sit with the totality of my humanity and my experience and my self-expression through it all, and who didn't turn away. My circle became very, very small. My understanding of what active love and my inner circle looked like in my truth. And when I started to speak my truth, and those who didn't receive it, those I was no longer safe in my truth, and those who said, nah, we don't accept that version of you, and they turned away and they walked away, or they closed the door, it broke me, it shattered me, and I met the deepest, darkest version of myself. And yet I am here and I'm rising from that. I'm still on the journey of rising, of meeting myself where I'm at, and yet I don't want to walk this journey alone. I am you, I've been you, I'm at the same level, other people are further ahead, and other people are back here, and I'm offering an invitation and an opportunity to meet yourself and to come into a community to do something different. Because when you are in alignment and you are moving from your truth and you have clarity on what that is for you, you have conviction and you are committed to doing what it takes to move from where you are to who you want to become, and to doing what it takes to get there, You don't need energy because it becomes its own battery source. You don't need motivation because you already have commitment and conviction, and you move differently. You meet yourself differently. You respond differently. It takes work, and what I've realized is that big grand gestures might activate us and be a catalyst to get us started, but we really show our truth and our commitment when we meet a moment and we choose sovereignty and self-determination and alignment over old patterns and pain. We choose this and we choose to do the work, but it has to be done at a level safety and belief. It's not about going, I'm broke and I don't even know how I'm going to pay my bills this week, to not whispering to ourselves, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. Those affirmations don't work. In this community, in this 7-day challenge, you will be given realistic, actionable steps that you can take to activate yourself, to awaken yourself, to come home to yourself so your truth can meet you. Your heart can meet you. You can meet yourself. And then once you're there, what does it look like to start to embody that truth, to practice that truth? Because micro actions and honoring and meeting our commitments builds self-trust. It builds self-respect. Because a tree, when it is planted, when a seed is planted, in order for it to become a tree that provides shade or fruit, it has to first take what it needs. So yes, if you are in a season of crisis and chaos, I understand how it can feel like you don't have time, that it's a luxury. Self-care and getting clear on stuff it just feels like too hard. And yet if you continue to operate from chaos and crisis, you will continue to stay stuck. You will continue to repeat old patterns and choices, and you will move from scarcity and fear and trauma. Rather, when you create safety within yourself and you move from truth and alignment, the universe meets you where you are. Your identity drives your actions, and your life is created from who you believe yourself to be. Because when I look out into the world, and I had to take some notes, this sat with me so heavy that I knew I couldn't just speak to it or I'd lose myself. The world doesn't need a new version of you. It needs the real you, whole, honest, messy you in your reclamation and your rising, rebirthing, whatever that looks like for you. Because we're in a season where systems are crumbling, truth is surfacing, and the world is literally at war. And yet that doesn't have to be our truth or our experience. It doesn't have to be our truth or our experience. We can't, turning away and turning off the world is a luxury that many people do not have. And if you can, it's a privilege. And there's nothing wrong with that privilege. It's just important to acknowledge it. How do we use our privilege and our resources for good? How do we ground ourselves and give ourselves what we need so that when we show up for those that we love and serve, we serve from our truth, our alignment, and our overflow, not from our abandonment and our burnout. Because hiding, shrinking, and surviving no longer fit. It's no longer sustainable. I'm in a season of moving from survival to sovereignty. And for many of us, especially women, mothers, First Nations people, those healing from trauma, and those who carry leadership in your calling or in your bones, or those who are the ones who are going, it's on me. There is no one else. There is no backup plan. You are the A, B, the C, the everything. Then this is for you. This is your moment, your invitation to create change, but to create that change from your truth and from the seeds that everything else, your wealth, your abundance, your health will become a ripple effect. It will become a flow-on effect. It will become the fruit because you had the courage to slow down, to come home to your truth and to move from that place. And you had the courage to develop your warrior heart to be the thing that you move through. Because I'm done fitting into a world that was never built for my whole self. I'm going to move through the world as I am and being bravely and boldly myself without apology. And this is your invitation to do the same. Because the warrior heart is here to remind us that this is not the season to self-abandon. This is the season to self-return, to come home to ourselves, to pick up the pieces, to sit in circle and at the fire with your own truth, to choose yourself again and again, to move from your peace and your truth, and trust that you are here to resonate for generations, not just the crisis of now, that what you are in is a season, it is a chapter, it is not your whole story. And if you're making it your whole story, you get to choose something different. This isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those who are done pretending. It's for those who are done with your own shit. It is done for those. It's for those that are done, but you also know you cannot move. You cannot continue in the way that you are done because it's literally killing you or choking the life out of you. And it is also, you're doing more harm than good to those that you love and serve. I'm just going to let that sit there. If this is resonating, hit subscribe below, leave a comment, put Warrior Heart in the comments below wherever you're finding this. Send it to someone that you love and come and check us out. Hit subscribe on the YouTube channel, leave a review. If you're finding this on the podcast, the audio podcast, or finding this on TikTok, like wherever you're finding this and it's meeting you, leave a comment, share it with someone that you love. Come and check us out. Another way that you can work with me if you're ready to take it to the next level is you can book a 1 hour call with me, a Warrior Heart Power Hour activation. I will sit with you. I will meet you where you are, and we will create a roadmap of the next 3 steps that you can take to shift your story, to shift your energy, and to take action that can meet you where you are to start to create momentum or a shift. From that call, you will leave with a blueprint, a map of what you can do next, but at an energetic level, at a physical level, and at a truth level to align, to start to activate your warrior heart and move from there. And that call at the moment is $97 as of today. The links will all be below. But this is for the woman standing at the edge of who she used to be, ready to reclaim herself because the world told her that she wasn't allowed to be that self. She was conditioned to believe that her truth wasn't allowed, it wasn't safe, or she had to leave part of herself behind in order to belong. But we're done belonging from self-abandonment. We want to belong from our truth and our alignment. The cycle breaker, carrying the weight of generations, refusing to pass it on. But breaking those cycles by breaking them within yourself and reconnecting to cycles that work, or creating new cycles that generations from now will benefit, generations that you will never meet. The leader healing in real time will still showing up for others, the creative, the dreamer, the mama, the misfit, the quiet rebel, the sovereign soul who knows there's more. And what I'm building and offering you right now is, here's how you can join and weave in right now. You can listen to this podcast, and this season is about moving from survival to sovereignty. My upcoming book, the first draft, which will be only released, insights will be released, sneak peeks, behind the scenes will be released in the Warrior Heart Inner Circle, a membership that at this point in time costs $9 to join per month, or $50 for the year for an annual membership. And for the first 30 people that join that, there will be a special bonus that you will get upon joining. You will get a one-on-one session with me to activate you into your warrior heart. And in that community, I share my teachings, my lived experience, my journey, and I share myself with you in real time. I'm building with you. I'm building out loud with you. And this is part memoir. It's part manifesto. It's my journey of going the warrior heart, of the journey of going from suicide to world champion, and the lessons I learned along the way. And if I haven't mentioned this or you don't know this about me, I'm also a black belt in jiu-jitsu and a 3-time world champion. Jiu-jitsu is my playtime. It's my therapy alongside my cultural practices as a First Nations woman. And jiu-jitsu, those are the spaces and the arenas that I go when I need to be with myself, to create space with myself so that I can then be mum, I can be Auntie Shan, I can be the founder, the CEO, the storyteller. The different roles that I weave together become possible because I give to myself first. I take what I need so that I can then be there for others. And I have the YouTube channel where you can find all of this. You can join the community, my teachings, the podcast. And I have my memberships. The Warrior Heart Activation is the free community where you can come and be activated. You can learn. The Warrior Heart Inner Circle is for those that are committed and ready to commit their time, their effort, and their money, and they don't want to work the journey alone. And then for those that want an activation or a deeper insight, you can book that one-to-one power hour activation call with me, because I just want to invite you to sit and yarn with me at the fireside and just imagine that we're at a fire, we're out on country, our feet are in the sand, and we're yarning. And what if this was true? There was a time when I thought I had to hide my pain to lead, but now I know the truth. My scars are my stories, and my stories are my strength. The warrior heart was not born because I had it all together, but because I chose to show up anyway, and you can too. This came from my lived experience. I was called to this moment. Okay, so it paused there. I don't know where it paused. The internet's a bit off this afternoon. I think it's a Friday afternoon. So I'm offering this to you because I've lived this, and I'm done with survival. I'm done modeling and moving from my self-abandonment and my burnout of being broken. I'm done with my own shit, and I want to invite you to walk this journey with me. I'm doing this in my own life in real time because I want self-determination and sovereignty and freedom over my time, my energy, my focus, my wealth, and my money and my resources. I want to invest in the change I want to see in the world, not just be it. I want to activate and be a catalyst for human potential. I want to create spaces where sovereignty is the norm. I want to create safe, sovereign spaces where we get to come home to ourselves. We get to hear our own truth. We get to be in community and collectives as we do that, so that when we enter back into the world, we get to do so from alignment, from community, and from a place of overflow. Because we poured into ourselves, so that when we pour into others, it's a ripple effect. It's a flow-on effect. What would shift in your life if you stopped performing who the world expects you to be and simply became who you already are? What would become possible if you stopped performing and you stopped seeking perfection and you did the best you could with what you had? You moved from alignment, and what is the next best step? What is the done good enough version of what you need to get done? That is the key that will unlock the next thing for you. And you surrender control and you seek alignment and truth instead. What would become possible? How much space and freedom would that create within you? And what resonates for you right now? Not just what is the greatest pain and what is blocking you from your truth, but also what is calling you? What lights you up? We don't just have to move because we're in pain. We can also move because we want more, and we don't have to apologize for wanting more. Living in survival is meant to be a season, not a lifestyle. And I'm done hiding my light because it might trigger others. Fuck that. I am done with that. I am done with my own shit. I am done with playing small. I'm owning this movement, and I'm owning this moment. This is the rising from survival to sovereignty. I'm so proud and I'm grateful of every version of myself that it's taken for me to get here to be this version of me. And I'm also ready to rise, because as I rise, I role model that to those who look to me and say, Anishan is someone that guides me. Anishan is someone that I see myself in, that looks to me and goes, I could do that. I'm done with being anything less than my full self. And this is your invitation to do the same. If this has served you in some way, if it has resonated with you in some way, please leave a comment, please leave a review so that we can meet more people. We'll grow and evolve as we go. I'm doing this in real time. Come and join the Warrior Heart community. Join our 7-day challenge. And if you're finding this at a later date, that challenge still sits in the Warrior Heart activation community on School. Book an activation power and a Warrior Heart power hour with me to get yourself started, to create a catalyst. You don't have to walk this journey alone. And for those that are ready to commit and take it to the next level, as of September 19th, 2025, the community is currently $9 per month or $50 per year. And for the first 30 founding members, you will get a gifted one-on-one session with me to activate yourself. And in that community, I'll be sharing behind the scenes, first access, first peek to my Warrior Heart Suicide to World Champion book, which is coming out February 14th, 2026. To the course that will come off of the back of that, to the book launch events. And keep your eyes and hearts and ears open to the Warrior Heart Tour. We are going on tour, live events that are coming up in Brisbane, Meerjin, in Alice Springs, in Naarm and New Zealand, and more locations to be named between now and February. And that's just to launch the Warrior Heart movement. It is not the book. The book itself is coming out February 16th, 2026. If this has served you and honored you in some way, I want to thank you for your time, for your love and your presence, because you could have chosen to spend that time with anyone, and the world needs you fully in yourself right now. And if you are done with crisis and chaos as a way of being, if you are done with survival as a lifestyle rather than a moment, check us out in the Warrior Heart community and come and join us and activate your warrior heart, because the world needs you now more than ever in your truth, in your humanity, and in your full power and self.